right, here's the 411, folks. Just give him one of these.
Hey everybody, welcome to the 411 folks, episode 31. It's a big one. My name is Jake, and with me Scott, as always. Hey Scott.
Hello.
As I said, it's a pretty big show.
Yeah, massive show. It's the one we've been waiting for. Ever since we started this, we knew the reveal for Nintendo Switch was coming. NX, I should say. Well, you know.
Well,
we finally got the name. It was really... Because I didn't stay up for it in Australia, the trailer was streaming live at 1 a.m. in the morning. You stayed up for it, but I didn't.
12 a.m. for daylight savings.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, maybe I should have done that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the problem with that was when I woke up, it was like 7 a.m. in the morning. As soon as I typed in NX trailer or something like that, I knew I was going to get the name just from a Google link, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how the name was revealed for me. It would have been better for you because it was revealed within the trailer.
Yeah, so I guess, well, just to backtrack again, this whole episode is obviously going to be about the Nintendo Switch. Just the reveal came a couple of days ago. We're just going to be talking about our thoughts on it, what we kind of think of it. The trailer went for 3 minutes. We're just going to tear it apart, what we think of it. A few games we're showing, going to talk a bit about that as well. Just Nintendo Switch, the whole thing. So, so I stayed up for it. The trailer was 3 minutes, and I can see where you're coming from, the disappointment of reading the name, because the trailer starts off, a guy just in his apartment or whatever, playing a game. Nothing's really, it's all kind of, the camera pans away from everything.
And you know that guy's playing the NX.
Yeah. And, everything's just filmed specifically to take your eyes away. You're trying to search the room for it. Eventually, you see the console, and then I can't exactly remember what happens, but then the name appears with the logo.
Yeah, so I think the first time you see it is when it just flashes onto that red screen and it says the Nintendo Switch, because that's when So yeah, the trailer starts off just him in his room. It must be like really early in the morning.
Well, this is I've been watching a lot of discussion videos about this. This is the funny thing. It seems to be really late at night or really early in the morning because the dog is there. The dog is barking, wanting to be walked.
Yeah, so I would assume morning.
But this guy's been playing video games all morning
He probably woke up really early.
to watch the reveal trailer as well.
But like, no, just the okay. Let me just infer something on you, Jake, okay? If the guy takes his dog out and it's really sort of, it's not late at night because you can still see the sort of sun. It's either evening or early morning. It must be early morning because if it was evening, there'd be a lot more people out.
It just seemed weird. Why not just put it at daytime?
I thought it was awesome. That like makes me want to wake up like at 3 a.m. and start playing the NX, you know? Nintendo Switch. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's going to get hard to get used to.
Yeah, it is.
Well, even before we get any further, I want to say the reveal of the Switch was announced, I suppose, 12, maybe 15 hours before it was going to happen that day. I found out about it on Twitter. I screenshotted it immediately to you because Nintendo America, Australia, whatever, their Twitter page posted it that's going to come. And then the whole rest of the day, I was at work, obviously. The whole rest of the day, I was just, my mind was elsewhere. I couldn't think about anything else. And then, so I stayed up for it, and I don't think I've ever been so hyped for anything in my life, actually. You know how in the previous NX stuff we've been talking about how we've been talking about the reveal day, how it would just break the internet, how I would just be searching the internet of every little piece of news I could get. Well, it's happened.
Yeah.
It happened. And it was probably the most exciting time ever. And that's...
So yesterday, which was the first day of reveal, that's all I was doing. Even at work, I was on my phone constantly trying to look up any new things that sort of came up about it, articles that people have written about it, things that I hadn't seen in the trailer myself. yeah, I was just doing it all day, all night as well. I was watching videos of people talking about it. Just wanted to see anything I could about it. So.
Yeah. There's still the problem. I thought this would end the rumor cycle because the rumor cycle's been going for 2-ish years
Yeah.
now. Unfortunately, not. Rumors are still coming out about this thing.
Well, it's because they didn't reveal enough.
Yeah.
There's still questions like battery life, which it's a huge one because this is a handheld device, so battery life is important.
Well, they're calling it a home console.
It's both. It's it is a hybrid.
Yeah.
So, but when you take it, as a handheld, it's supposed to be like that 3DS where you can take it anywhere for 5 or 6 hours.
Mm.
I mean, look at your Wii controller. The Wii U controller.
Yeah.
How long does that last?
No, that probably gets about 3 hours in it.
See, if that happens to the Switch, that's terrible.
Yeah, that doesn't look good because the whole thing, that right there, the screen, the pad, that's the console. Not the little dock thing.
Yeah.
That's just the thing.
That's just to connect it to the TV.
Even to charge it probably as well.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look beefy enough. It looks maybe slightly bit. I mean, I'm holding the Wii U gamepad right now in my hand. It probably size wise, it's probably a little bit bigger, but the screen is going to take up much more of it as well.
It'd probably be a little thinner as well than that.
Yeah. See, we're looking at it now. We're looking at the trailer on loop right now as well. The triggers, the two triggers are kind of in the same alignment as well.
Yeah.
One thing, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here, but whatever. One thing as well, people are saying that there's going to be no stylus.
Oh yeah.
There doesn't seem to be room for a stylus, which I don't mind. I've never used the Wii U stylus in my life.
Yeah.
And then they were saying, is it even going to be a touchscreen? Well, of course it's going to be a touchscreen.
Well, yeah, but they didn't show anyone touching it. But I think that was a good thing for a first trailer. Because you show people touching it, and then it becomes even more complicated than it is. People start asking more questions, whereas now people just see it as a simple gamepad, like a sort of a PS Vita kind of thing.
The trailer was effective in that all it was meant to do was show how the NX just works. The Switch. How the Switch does the Switch.
Yeah.
And it was effective enough.
Yeah.
And
so every single time it went to that Switch screen, it changed the way you could play it.
Mm-hmm.
So it kept showing different ways that you could play this console. And I love the way that they designed this trailer because it starts off with a guy just by himself in his room playing the NX, and then it gradually gets more sociable. So people start getting together. Some guy goes on a plane, then he sits next to this pretty attractive blonde.
bring him smoking.
Yeah. And then it goes into these guys playing basketball. Then they're all playing together. And then this girl at a sort of a rooftop party playing together.
That was the most unbelievable.
Yeah,
I think,
like
though.
what the as if
Like,
that would happen.
Everyone waving, having a party, and
Yeah.
just like, oh, okay, I'll just bring my gaming
Yeah.
console with me.
And then finally at the end they had this whole esports kind of thing, and a massive stadium crowd, which that's unlikely as well.
Playing
It's gonna
Splatoon,
happen.
and then like pre-match, they're all sitting in a circle playing
Yeah.
on their, and then they take their console to play on the
Yeah.
stage. No,
But as if you're gonna get a stadium full of people to watch people play Splatoon.
oh, I mean, you could say the same thing. Why do people go to a stadium to watch Call of Duty?
They do they?
Of course they do.
Oh,
It's
okay.
esports.
I didn't know that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's a whole other topic. But no, I mean, and then we're seeing now on the screen, we're seeing different variations of the controllers. Yeah, the computer's a bit loud. We're seeing different variations of the controllers, and they're called Joy-Cons, which, okay, whatever.
Just a name. Just a name.
Yeah. So right now we're seeing the Pro Controller, which seems to come as a separate, you buy that separately.
It looks just like the Xbox One controller.
It does.
Just
doesn't
saying.
It does.
Like the exact same layout.
I mean, we've got it right here on still, and I'm holding a controller, Xbox controller right in front of me.
It's exactly the same.
It does. The buttons seem a bit more pushed out, I guess you would say, particularly with the D-pad. I mean, I don't know. That seems like
It's weird because when you're not using the Pro controller, the other controller thing doesn't have a D-pad.
it doesn't.
I mean, look at the like individual ones they're holding now, the mini ones.
Yeah,
I mean, those are the things that you stick beside it.
that's the D-pad there, isn't it? That is right
Oh,
because
right,
he's
yeah.
got
Okay, so one person, if you're using the two separate mini ones, one person uses the A, B, X, Y buttons,
Mm-hmm.
whatever they're, and the other person uses the D-pad for the A, B, X, Y.
Mm.
I would never use those, to be honest.
No, even look. They look tiny.
Yeah.
They look. And then you'll see it as well, particularly in the scene with the woman going to the house, to the rooftop party.
Mm.
They're just women, and they're like crouched around. They've got these massive
Yeah.
hands on these tiny controls. It looks awful.
Sorry, fat people, but you're not going to be able to use these.
No, they're-
Your fingers are too fat.
I mean, it seems like a cool different way to play. Like these people are in a car. They attach the Switch gamepad to a stand thing on the back of the seat, and they've got two controllers each. That seems really cool. Like
Yeah.
really cool, but very very rarely would I choose to play that way.
Yeah, I mean, that seems just like the trailer's gone out of their way to show every possibility you can play with this.
And then here we have another scene. This is the one where Super Mario is shown off, and here's this woman holding a different variation of another controller. This
Yeah.
is the one I don't understand.
yeah.
So
In all, there's 3 different controllers.
right, so
pretty much.
she's playing on the TV. The pad, the actual Switch, is in the TV dock.
Yeah.
And then she's got the 2 Joy-Cons attached to something, and it's like a square.
But why? Why wouldn't you just sell a Pro controller? Or why wouldn't a Pro controller just come with it so you can use the Pro controller? Why? Why use that? Is it just so you could get used to using those controls so it's easily, changeable? So when you want to use it as a handheld, you're using those same buttons because you don't want to you change your control scheme. Sorry.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I mean, I think that will come with the console.
Yes.
All that will come with the console. The Pro controller will be sold separately.
Yes,
as
yeah.
an extra thing. So
I mean, I'm going to get the Pro controller straight away.
yeah. There's no way I'm going to be using that. I mean, we can see an image of it now.
Mm-hmm. I
This
mean,
big square thing.
look at it. It's got handles similar to a normal Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Kind of. So it's not like you're just holding a square. You kind of got these little handles built into, kind of just whacked onto a big square. It's not the most appealing thing, but whatever. Another variation of the controller we haven't talked about is the scene where the guy was on an airplane, where he takes the Switch, puts out a little kickstand on the table tray of the plane, which is pretty cool. Nice little idea. And then he takes the 2 Joy-Cons, separates them, and he just lounges back, and then just
That's a 4th variation.
and plays it like he has a Wii remote and nunchuck kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's a pretty cool way, I guess.
It is I mean, when he did that, I was sort of thinking, why wouldn't you just hold the gamepad like an iPad? You're playing an iPad. But then I was thinking, yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be more comfortable if you can do both? If you're just getting a bit sore of holding that gamepad, just hold it up. Then you can lean back and use those really. I mean, those little controller things would seem really really light.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you can play it like that. Do you reckon if you put it in the TV dock, you could just play it with those 2, holding those 2 little things like that as well?
I suppose so. I mean,
It would feel so weird, hey? Just having, moving your arms everywhere, and you're using 2 analog sticks. And
yeah.
it's crazy. That would feel weird.
It's just, I guess the whole crux of this console is just versatility.
Yeah.
And you can do whatever, you can play in whatever style, you can play in wherever you want. And I think...
And the name Switch is just really fitting, because you can switch it to however you want.
Yes, I really enjoyed the name. The first time it popped up, I thought... And then I love the logo and how the click, every time it does the click,
Yeah.
so it's satisfying. It was really cool. I've seen a couple videos of people who say Nintendo Switch, they don't like the name because it hasn't
I've seen that as well.
Yeah, because it hasn't got the Nintendo personality. And
It's not unique enough. I heard someone say, if you type Switch into Google, you get a whole bunch of things. If you type Wii into Google, you just get the Nintendo Wii.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they've done it right. Like, people were complaining about, why would you call it the Wii or the Wii U? It's just so, call it something normal and you'd get a bigger audience. Now they've done that.
Yeah, the whole thing, they had to get the marketing right because this is such a unique and different concept. Like they've said, like no one's done this kind of thing before. Why give it such an obscure name? The name has to sell what it does, and they've done it.
So what are your thoughts on that plus and minus button? What do you think they do?
Plus and minus button. I think I read something that was a share button.
You know what? I thought it was just a volume.
Are we? I have to see it again. I can't exactly remember what you're talking about.
See there.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so one side is the minus, the other side is the plus.
I didn't even notice that. Oh
See,
wow, look at it.
there,
Okay, yeah, volume for sure.
Because I was watching a lot of videos and everybody was just so confused. But straight away, before watching any of those, I just thought straight away volume, because. I mean, if you're doing it on the TV, use the volume on your remote for the TV. But if you've got the handheld, they could just be your volume buttons instead of like a 3DS slider.
It doesn't seem to be any sliders on the...
Yeah, so I reckon straight away volume.
Yep. That's really neat. I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. So, I guess still talking about the console, cartridges, game cards, I'd say. They've stuck with that. Excellent idea. And then we've seen a very brief image of one game card. They seem a little longer than a regular 3DS card. So I don't know. They're showing off these games that look incredible. Zelda, Skyrim. We'll talk about them later. But it's just going to be interesting how they can fit these big games on cartridges.
I know, like they went all out on Xenoblade Chronicles to try and fit it on this small cartridge, and it looks like shit. You've seen sort of images of what that game looks like on the 3DS. So how come all of a sudden they can put these HD huge games on to these little cartridges?
Remember, they're probably taking away the 3D component.
Yeah.
That would probably take a lot of power from these cards.
Yeah.
And then, again, another video I'm going to reference here is they're making these cards smaller and just bigger, like they do with every piece of technology. An SD card exists now, a 1 terabyte SD card exists. So,
and just new technology as well. The 3DS came out in 2011. That's 5 years ago. So in 5 years, obviously things have improved. So I suppose they can do a lot more with a small cartridge. So
we're talking cartridges here. To get a bit geeky, a bit. What do you think the box, the game, the boxes the games are coming in? Are we talking 3DS size or all regular Wii U size boxes?
I'm talking in between.
Oh, okay. The Switch. Oh, kind of like an Xbox One. They're a bit smaller.
Yeah, they're like sort of Blu-ray size.
Yeah,
but maybe a bit more different than that as well.
Okay.
Because I still think they're gonna, because PS4 is the same size as that, isn't it?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Xbox 360 was always in a DVD size.
Yep.
PS3 was always in a Blu-ray size, and now PS4 and Xbox One are sort of the same. I think Switch is just going to still try and go a little bit different than those guys. Even though it would be pretty cool if they stayed the same, so you could have sort of a perfect line in your shelf.
Well, nothing would be perfect.
But really, I really think that every single game that I get on my Switch is going to be digital, just because. If I'm mainly going to be doing this, what is that, Jake?
Sorry, I got a text message.
If I'm going to be, taking this as a handheld, I don't want to be carrying a whole bunch of games with me all the time. I just want to have it there on my pad.
So you're moving digital, eh? Oh, that's a good point actually.
Because I'm kind of regretting buying all my 3DS games hard copy, because now I have every single time I go out I carry 3 packs with me because I need to carry all my games with me. I don't want to make the same mistake with my Switch. I want to keep it just all on there.
That's a really good point. It's also an interesting thing of how memory is going to work in this thing. We saw a slip for the game card. We didn't see a slot for a regular SD card. We don't know if the memory is inbuilt into the thing. We don't know how big it is.
So how many gigabytes do you reckon it starts off with?
I think they'll do the regular 16 and 32.
It can't be that.
No?
No way. Like, think of games like...
Skyrim.
Okay, you know the new Call of Duty?
Mm.
That's it's like over 100 gigs
Shit.
to install.
This thing is...
And
small.
you know, we saw a trailer of them playing NBA 2K17. That's like, 50 gigs or something.
Yeah, you're right. If they want, yeah.
It's got to be at least the standard when it comes out. It's got to be the 1 terabyte.
Wow.
It's got to be that. And then they need to release maybe one with even more power than that. But
That little thing can hold 1 terabyte. Look how big they've made Xbox.
Well, look at their cartridges. Look how much power they can store on that.
Yeah, they can surprise us, I guess. I guess that's what we've talked about with the console. A lot of people have, look, in terms of reaction, I've seen a lot of people who on Facebook who typically aren't into video games and have either reposted the trailer or said something about this new thing. And I'm scrolling through comments on news sites and other YouTube videos and even the Nintendo website. There seems to be a pretty positive spin around this whole thing. There doesn't seem to be much negativity, which is really good. I was really hoping for that. So, I think they've done it right. I don't know.
Yeah.
To have people talk about this game who usually don't play games, I think that's classic Nintendo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Even people who used to like Nintendo are now talking about it again. Just, people are sort of back on the Nintendo train.
It's so funny how people are so anti-Nintendo during the Wii U phase.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Wii U phase like it's a thing of the past, but pretty much it is. There's no new games coming out, so...
And all the games, all the great games on the Wii U are either moving to the 3DS or we've seen them playable on the Switch.
Before we talk about it, I got a quick story. So the night of the reveal, I played my Wii U because I was just in this Nintendo headspace.
Yeah.
And I've been playing Paper Mario. And it was in the back of my head, like, come 3 hours, come 2 hours, the Wii U is going to be a thing of the past. The Wii U is going to be redundant
Yeah.
in just a couple of hours. That was such a sad feeling because now once the Switch is out in the world, which it now is,
As soon as the name's out there, it's like the Wii U is old news.
the Wii U is dead now.
Yeah.
And again, seeing people say the Switch and the idea with the Wii U gamepad is what people wanted. What am I trying to say here? People wanted the Switch to be what the Wii U was, with the portable gamepad.
Yeah.
But you can't take it more than 15 meters away from the Wii U, So, I don't know. In a way, this is not a successor to the Wii U. It's just...
It's just a brand new thing.
Yeah.
Like, we were always talking about what kind of gimmick are they going to have. There's sort of no gimmick. They've just sort of combined their two consoles into one now. So they just can focus on the one. Because really it was always split between the two. Sometimes you'd get more attention on the Wii U, sometimes you get more attention on the 3DS. Whenever they'd have directs, people were going, oh, that was so Wii U focused, or that was so 3DS focused. Now they don't have to worry about any of that. Every single game that comes out is just for this one console.
It's a smart move because there's no division between the market now.
Yeah.
I guess before I'm going to talk about the games, we'll talk about the games.
We'll do that sort of later. But
Later. I guess straight up, even before, okay, let's say you watched the trailer. Did it work on you? Are you going to buy this?
yeah. Well, remember how I said I'm not going to buy the console unless I like the launch lineup. Like, the only thing that's going to sell me is the launch lineup. But I got to say, I think it almost worked. Almost. Like, I know I'm definitely going to buy it. It's just... it's hard not to talk about the games because we're going to do that later. But anyway, the games that we saw, I mean, I never bought a Wii U. So the games that we saw, like Splatoon and
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart 8. Like, they're the games that I've been wanting to play ever since Wii U came out. So now that I get a chance to play them, you know, it might not be the same for you because you've played them, you've had a Wii U before, but it's different for me because I've never played them. So,
I think it. Okay,
and
Well-
it's that's for a lot of people as well because Wii U wasn't a big seller, so not many people have played these games.
exactly. They're tapping into it. Splatoon, even though it was a big success, it sold over 1 million copies. Probably closer to 2 million now.
And what, Mario Kart 8 was like 6 million or something.
Yeah, that's still a fraction of the market.
Yeah.
And if they're trying to make Switch a big deal, they're going to tap into a lot more people. And for a lot more people, Splatoon is going to be a new thing. So that's why they're saying this Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon footage, it looks like up-res, like enhanced ports rather than
Yeah.
sequels kind of thing. And we'll get to that later.
Let's talk about. Oh, sorry, you're gonna.
No, you go.
Let's talk about who this trailer was targeted for, Jake. There were no children. There were no families.
Well, that's a good point, actually.
Every single Nintendo trailer you see is all about families getting together, you know, parents with their kids. There's nothing to do with that.
Wow, yeah.
It's all sort of people our age.
Young adults to, like...
And that's because Nintendo have finally realized that their audience aren't kids anymore. Kids aren't interested in this shit. Kids are interested in Xbox, Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto. That's all they talk about.
They can't win anymore.
Yeah. Nintendo is talking to us now because we grew up with Nintendo. The only kids who are Nintendo fans are the adults who are Nintendo fans who have these kids.
Yeah.
That's
Has
it.
to force them into
So
Nintendo.
Nintendo have finally realized that, and then now they're speaking to us.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that. Yeah, I mean, like you said at the start, the trailer shows ways of playing this in all factions of life, like people playing a street basketball game and then break off and play NBA, and then esports, and then people on a road trip, people catching a plane. Things kids don't do.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like, if you're at an airport and you've got your NX out, are you just going to go up to this hot blonde sitting there playing an NX and go, hey, I'm playing this one too? And then is she going to be like smiling and going, hey, what you playing?
I should be like, get the hell away from
Yeah,
it.
she'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Security.
And as if she's going to be sitting there playing that anyway in the first place.
I would love to see that. That'd probably be a dream of mine.
Yeah, it would be. But, you know, you can't have everything. But...
Nintendo like to lie to us, and they kind of did. No,
What do you mean?
with the hot blonde.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Damn advertising. Well, so when Kiri first, I showed Kiri this trailer straight after, and then the first thing she said is, "There's no Asians."
Oh my god!
But it's because they have their own trailer, don't they?
I was thinking that. I'm surprised I haven't seen anything for it. Usually, at least Game Explain, it usually posts both trailers, but I
Yeah.
think I'm kind of thinking Japan got the same trailer as us.
Well, there was no dialogue, so it must be just one for all.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some Asian guys, you know, at the end of the trailer in
yeah.
the esports thing, but that was it. But yeah, it was very sort of, I don't know,
Interesting.
westernized
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, it's a good. That's interesting.
Because I think in Japan, you know, a lot of people are going to buy this anyway.
yeah.
So that they've got to speak to a Western audience.
Think about again, the whole idea of Switch is taking it wherever you want, playing wherever you want. Think about the way you live your life now, your lifestyle. Does that better suit you, playing your games anywhere in any capacity that you want, or are you more akin to playing at home on the weekends? Or whatever?
I like the idea of going out and playing games wherever I want. It's just that, you know, whenever I want to play games, you know, I usually just end up, you know, if I'm playing my 3DS, which can be played anywhere, I usually just end up playing in my room or just on the couch, you know, just in my house anyway. So it's just like, I never really go outside and play any of these games. And I don't think when I get the Switch that's going to change as well. Like, I would still like the idea of going out and playing it. It's just like, I mean, am I going to go, I don't know, down to the park and play it? Am I going to go to the beach and play it? I don't think so.
You don't go to the beach in general.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you know, nobody around us even in Australia goes out and plays games. You know, it's not something that happens here.
No, Australia for sure. But that's one thing I'd like to see this change. Maybe, maybe the Switch just like how
It's just got to be huge. Like it's got to be massive, like the Wii. It's
Yeah.
got to be. It's got to become mainstream.
yeah.
It's got to be like Pokemon Go. Like people were playing that
Mm.
and nobody cared.
So I just like having the option now of playing Splatoon,
Mm.
playing
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8.
Well,
whatever
I
it is.
mean, when you got Splatoon and Mario Kart 8 and everything, I had to come over to yours to actually see you play it.
Mm.
And now, you know, you could just come over and bring it with you
Mhm.
and play it wherever. You know, it's crazy to think about.
And we can play multiplayer without having to buy a second controller.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good way. But no, I just like more and more in my life. I'm traveling a little more, like planes and stuff. So
Planes and trains.
a little bit. So I like having that option now. Like sometimes I feel embarrassed taking my 3DS with me. But now this just looks like, not that I want to conform. This just looks like I'm playing an iPad. No one would think any different.
That's true. Just sort of a different looking iPad.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the new iPad?
No, it's the Nintendo Switch.
You know, I've been
What?
doing a bit of advertising, Jack, for the Nintendo Switch. They should pay me.
What?
Well, you know, I work at a school, and yesterday, every kid that I saw heard about the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I've been sharing. It's
Oh,
funny,
from you? You
yeah,
heard about-
you know, from me. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I've been saying it. It's funny because every single time I say it, the kids are like, "Yeah."
Oh,
It's
oh.
like whatever. You haven't fucking heard of it. Were you up at 1 a.m. Were you?
Damn kids.
Yeah, but no. Then I explained it, and they're like, "Oh, cool," and so it was with lots of groups of kids. I was sort of explaining it to, and some of them at the end were going, "Oh, what's that? What's that thing called again? Nintendo Switch." Oh, yeah, cool. So obviously they're going to go home, bug mum. So
Yay.
hopefully it works. You know, I'm spreading the news,
Well done.
spreading the joy.
Well done.
It's good. I've been selling it sort of like I mean, like as my point before, I'm saying kids don't care about Nintendo, they care about Xbox, and this is evidence. So every single time I bring up the Nintendo Switch, I go, heard about the new Nintendo Switch? Oh, have you heard about the PS4 Pro? Have you heard about the Xbox Scorpio?
There you go.
Yeah.
I've got to somehow get rid of that. I think that might do it. So, sorry, I keep getting text messages.
Hope that doesn't mute us.
Well, no, I think we'll be good. I guess moving away from actual facts and moving a bit more to speculation. Nothing about the system's menus or UI was shown. The trailer just showed how the console works and the Switch mechanic, I guess you'd call it. So one thing that brings to mind, I was saying how I like taking I take my DS with me when I travel, and whenever I do that, I flip it down and make sure I put Street Pass on. I love doing that, even though it's kind of a rare thing here in Australia. Street Pass, I still get things.
Yeah.
Is Street Pass going to be a mechanic in Switch? Is Miiverse going to come back?
I don't know, and I really can't talk much about it because I've never used either of those things.
Oh, okay. We'll see on the controller they have a home button.
Yeah.
So the home button's back.
Well, there's definitely going to be sort of a, you know, a home screen, a hub world kind of thing.
Mhm.
And it's going to have all your sort of apps. You know, it's not going to be so different from PS4 and Xbox One. You know, you probably get a YouTube app, a Netflix app, all these apps that you can download and everything. You can do all your stuff on this one thing.
Before the reveal, in the coming days before it, a lot of articles were saying people wanting their expectations of the thing, and an article was built around the menus of what this thing would be, and it was pretty interesting because one of them was saying this person doesn't want the square logos, kind of like Apple does, that they need a bit of their own identity to that. Which I don't know. I kind of agree. The menus doesn't really
What do you mean
bother
the
me.
square logos?
So, sorry, on the Wii,
on the Wii, yeah.
even on the 3DS, the squares.
Yeah.
Which doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't really bother me, but I kind of get what he was saying. So I kind of moved to a more, kind of like the Xbox One menu. I really enjoy that because you just flick across to anything from your homepage to all your games to right to the end is the shop and the store.
I'm not a massive fan of the Xbox One
No.
homepage. It feels too much like a PC.
Oh well, that's what they're going for.
Yeah, but like, you remember how it was originally before the update? I liked that one. If you can remember what that was like, it was just sort of 4 separate pages that you can just scroll across.
Okay.
And now it's sort of, you got like the tabs and everything. It just feels weird on a console. So I really don't like that. I do like the Wii U one.
I mean, I enjoy it. The one thing that always bugged me about Nintendo things, and I didn't think about this until now, is having to go in a separate, having to load in the Nintendo eShop. A little, I don't know. I wish they could just do away with that. Kind of like Xbox, you just flick to another tab. The store is right there, rather than having to wait 2 to 3 minutes to load it up and boot back out of it.
The one thing I think we're going to see different from Nintendo is, now that they're targeting an older audience, they're not going to sort of focus on making, I don't know, all these things sort of really simple, I guess. You know, I mean, I guess the Wii U homepage was kind of very, I mean, that was obviously targeted for kids. Maybe we'll see something a lot different. I mean, the look of the console is a lot more mature, I guess. It's more
sleek. It's
more sort of mature to sort of take around outside. I mean, if you were to take your 3DS around outside, you know, I mean, you'd feel a lot more comfortable carrying this outside it. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, I think they've just done everything right, just targeting. They know who their audience is now.
What about Mii's? Are they going to have Mii's come back?
Don't know.
I mean, Mii is very... It seems like they want to remove themselves from the whole Wii culture.
And I hope they do.
You hope they get rid of it?
Yeah. I hope they just need to move on from that. Get rid of everything that had to do with that.
Look, I don't want to see it fully gone, because I quite enjoy it. I don't know. I think it's kind of charming in a really odd kind of way, but I hope they do. I hope they don't get rid of it entirely. Maybe just rework it in a more less kiddish way. I don't know.
We sort of got half confirmation that amiibos work because scattered around the trailer there was amiibos. Did you see them? So obviously that's got to mean amiibo work.
I think amiibo has to work because they're putting out a new line of amiibos for Breath of the Wild. Yeah. So I think it has to work.
And which obviously means that it's touchscreen.
Oh right, because
it's got to be So it's got to be touchscreen. So I mean, sort of confirmations within speculation.
Yeah. What about I think a big concern for me is having to carry this thing around. It doesn't. I love carrying the 3DS around because it has the shell. Like you close it, your screens are protected. This a big open screen. It's prone to scratching in your bag. It's not pocket friendly. It can't fit in anyone's pocket. I'm a little concerned about that.
There has to be a case that's sold separately, I reckon. But you could say the same about an iPad. An iPad's something that you take everywhere with you. You know, people take that everywhere with them. Nobody complains about, screen damage on that,
No, everyone has a cover on it. No, I just answered my own question.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's everything about the console. Unless you had anything, we'll move on to talking about some games.
I'm just looking at the Nintendo Switch logo right now. There's sort of like the two oval kind of things with the two dots. It sort of looks like Pong,
Someone cleverly compared it to yin and yang. Yin and yang, like opposites.
Oh yeah,
doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Switch.
Yeah.
In and out, doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's quite clever.
It is. It's a cool logo.
And like it also relates to the analog two analog sticks.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's good that they've got the analog sticks sort of on a diagonal now.
Oh, thank God. Yeah.
That was a major complaint, wasn't it?
Yeah. Look, it doesn't bother me because the Wii... I still say the Wii gamepad is one of the most comfortable controllers to hold and play with.
You are in the minority.
I know, besides the Xbox One controller, this thing is a piece of work, a piece of art. But
have you held PS4?
I actually don't think I have. Maybe only once or twice.
I don't know. Xbox One though is very comfortable to hold.
Yeah, but
even the new Xbox One S one is even better.
Oh, for sure.
It's got the sort of the graded back and everything.
Oh
so,
yeah.
But
no, I can just imagine. Like I would love to have Nintendo marketing ads come back in a big way.
They need to.
remember every time you hear on TV, watching TV, the Nintendo DS, the dun.
Yeah.
I loved hearing that sound, and I've said it before, the click sound of the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
If I hear that every time on TV, that's going to get my
Yeah.
attention, and I love that.
It's the only way that this is going to be a massive deal. Like, probably start doing it, I don't know, January even.
Well, one thing they have confirmed, they're not going to talk. This is a deal breaker.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They're not going to announce any more details about the NX, the Switch,
Until 2017, yeah.
until next year. I think that's okay. I mean, get over the Christmas thing. Nintendo has nothing for Christmas. Whatever.
Well,
2017 is Nintendo's year. Let them focus on next year.
don't they have some 3DS stuff coming out? I think, Pokemon, like, Sun is, like, November, but yeah, that's it.
And then that'd still be a big Christmas title for sure.
Yeah.
But look, they've got nothing. That's not a deal breaker because look, let them just focus on next year. And I don't know. I at least thought they would drop maybe a quick sizzle reel of games or something before the year's out. But I can wait. Now that don't you think it's just a big relief to have this out there?
It is. It's finally sort of, we can actually say the name now. That's the main thing. I was sick of saying NX.
One thing that I was so hyped about was knowing, the name.
Yeah.
And they did it right. And then remember last week we were talking about a big possibility was Nintendo Duo.
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you know it was funny? When as soon as I woke up, and I knew that the Nintendo Switch trailer was out. And I was like, okay, I'm about to look up. I'm about to find out the name. I'm about to find out what it is. And then I sort of had a revelation. I was like half asleep, and I was like, I thought I knew the name, and I was like, I know the name. It's Nintendo Power.
Oh, your mind is weird.
But don't you think that would have been a cool name, Nintendo Power?
Like the magazine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the name of the console.
That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, good suggestion. But Nintendo Switch, I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah, just one more speculation just before we get into some games. Do you think there's going to be a reward system, like achievements, trophies? Do you think there's going to be some stars?
Yes. Or at least I want that to be, yes.
There has to be, I reckon.
Yeah. The whole again the way that the system operates, the UI is unknown at this point. But no, that sounds pretty cool. I like it. Games. Let's talk about some games. The first game that was shown off, obviously, Breath of the Wild.
Was that new footage?
Oh, if it was
People have seen lots of it before, so it's not really sort of like a big deal anymore.
yeah. Breath of the Wild just looks like Breath of the Wild. Looks cool.
Looks cool. Yep.
Looks great. I didn't really see an improvement in graphics, but
It's just that they've given people what they've been asking for. Everybody's been asking for. If I just want to be able to take Zelda outside, like that big world, and then that's the first thing they showed the person doing was doing just that. Playing at home, then you can take it away.
Yep.
So yeah, awesome.
I can't remember the order of it, but let's talk about Mario Kart.
Yeah.
We're looking at it here right now. Now, like I said earlier, they're saying Mario Kart and Splatoon. Rumor again, they're saying they're rather than sequels, they're enhanced ports of the games that already exist on the Wii U.
Just the definitive versions, just with an extra update or something.
With the DLC, probably more courses involved. Splatoon will have more customization, more single player stuff, maybe.
Because they said the Splatoon you can customize the hair in it. That was the only sort of difference that they saw. But,
Yes.
yeah. So, but it's definitely a different version because you can't do that on the Wii U.
Now, what do you think about this? Because, like you said with me, I've had 50 hours respectively for both games. I've had my time with them. That's not to say I'm bored with them. I am still going to pick them up on Switch.
Really?
Of course.
But why? You've got them on Wii U.
But it's on the Switch.
But on the Switch, there's going to be a Mario Kart 9 coming out soon. Yeah, there's got to be, and there's got to be a Splatoon 2
but
soon.
why aren't they kicking off with that? Why are they doing Mario Kart 8 again?
Because they'll probably be kicking off with the new Super Mario.
You think?
Yeah.
I actually...
They're not going to go all guns blazing and go, let's go Mario Kart 9, Splatoon 2, Super Mario the new Super Mario game, all 3 of them out, then you've got nothing for 2 more years.
I actually think the Super Mario isn't going to be a launch. I think it's going to be Zelda, Mario Kart, Splatoon, and a few third parties in there.
Yeah.
I think Mario's going to be later on. Oh, that's just my fault. But I am. While the ports seem great because, like you said, you've never touched Splatoon or Mario Kart 8, so for a lot of people they're going to be still new. Why not just kick off with something new? You know, why not just do sequels rather than ports?
Because, like I said before, not many people have the Wii U.
Yeah,
They're talking to me here. I'm a huge Nintendo fan, and I didn't buy a Wii U because there were about 4 games that I wanted to play, so it's not worth buying a console. And now they're bringing over the best games.
Yeah,
The unmentioned one was Super Smash Bros., which I assume they're going to bring over as well.
yeah,
So I reckon, yeah, Mario Kart 8, it's going to have all the DLC. It's probably going to have maybe a new DLC with it. It's going to be like a definitive version. It's probably going to be $50, $60.
yeah.
It's going to be cheap. So Splatoon, same thing. Going to be every single thing, every single piece of DLC in it. Super Smash Bros. Same thing, I reckon. So those 3 alongside Zelda, and yeah, a few third parties like was it Just Dance, Skyrim, NBA.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just I see. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But they've along with all that, there's got to be at least a couple more Nintendo games in there that are not Wii U ports. So
Yeah.
I mean, even Zelda Breath of the Wild will be kind of like a Wii U port kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if that's the lineup, then there's no original, games for the Switch at all. So there's got to be a few new ones. Probably not some big ones, but I really think that if not launch for Super Mario, it's got to be within the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's fair enough. For Mario Kart, the little piece of footage we did see did straight away seem new because we saw the ability to now hold 2 items rather than 1, which was missing from Mario Kart 8. And people even saying that this might be a spiritual successor to Mario Kart Double Dash, because it kind of had that mentality look to it, which ties into the Switch name. So I think Mario Kart Switch.
Yeah.
Think that you have 2 items that you can switch between.
Yeah.
Think that you have 2 characters on the same card that you can switch between.
So what do you reckon, Mario Kart Switch?
If not,
They're taking on the Switch name for everything, like 64.
yeah, if not have that Mario Kart 8 that we saw, maybe call it Mario Kart 8.5 or some shit.
Yeah.
Then the new installment of Mario Kart, that's going to be called Mario Kart Switch. So either way, Switch, it's perfect. It fits so well.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really use that for, every game.
No.
It's probably just a one-off thing that works really well for, just one game. So
Before I forget this idea, the first game that came into my head when watching this, think Animal Crossing. Think Animal Crossing, because unpopular opinion, I loved having Animal Crossing on the console, even though it wasn't the most ideal way to play Animal Crossing. I just loved the way it looked on the TV. But then I can just take that wherever I want.
It's crazy.
The way Animal Crossing is supposed to be played on the move.
HD on the move. Think of all these games that, like, 3DS exclusives, like Professor Layton, Fire Emblem,
Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon. All these games that are sort of like top-down kind of games, and like Dragon Quest, games that are meant to be sort of for a smaller screen, are now all going to be moved to a big screen. And now, when that happens, obviously those games are going to have major changes. So major sort of graphic changes, major art changes. You can't just have this pixelated world like this kind of RPG anymore. Like, how, even smaller RPGs that came out, like Legend of Legacy and just these smaller titles. Have you ever heard, like,
No.
Oh, well, anyway, smaller games like that, lower budget RPG games that came out on the 3DS that not many people know about, they're probably not going to happen anymore just because there's no sort of dedicated handheld small device for that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I guess they're kind of losing a little bit of a market there. But
Think Pokemon, okay?
yeah,
Pokemon has been more and more, and as we're seeing with Sun and Moon, moving to a broader scale, and the graphics are following suit. So even though it seems like Pokemon is doing better than what the 3DS can handle now, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's,
But even like, we've played the demo, and we'll talk about that another time. But I don't think that if they release Sun and Moon 2, just for example, on the Switch, they're not going to get away with graphics like that.
what do you mean? On the 3DS?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, the graphics that we saw for Sun and Moon
Yeah.
need to be a lot better if you're going to put that on Switch, because you're going to be on like a full HD, like big TV.
No, for sure. It just, that's what I'm saying. Like, the graphics have to be better, but it seems like Pokemon has been wanting to get better and better.
So they're limited to what they can do.
Yeah, like we've seen the Switch. The biggest change came from Black and White to X and Y with the big whole 3D change. That's where it seemed like they were really pushing their boundaries.
Yeah.
And Sun and Limit, they're over the limit now.
Sun
and Moon, they're over the limit now. So yeah,
I think the next Pokemon game we're going to see after Sun and Moon is just going to be huge differences. The next Animal Crossing is going to be massive differences. The next Fire Emblem is going to be massive. Like, every 3DS exclusive that the next version of that game that comes out now is just going to be massive differences because it has to be on a TV now and HD.
One thing I probably maybe should have brought this up when we were talking about the console, but it's game related. Game cards now, they have shot themselves in the foot with the ability of backwards compatibility. They can't put discs in. They can't put 3D8. I don't know. Do you think they'll have capacity to put 3DS card?
Well, I mean, when the DS came out, we could put the SP cards in. When the 3DS came out, we could put DS cards in. So maybe.
Either way, it seems like Virtual Console is going to be the way to go.
I think if it was backwards compatible for 3DS, I think you wouldn't be able to look at it on your TV screen. It would just be for the handheld. It'd be like a smaller screen.
Oh, that's a really good point, actually. Yeah. I mean, well, they still have to put the double screen in.
Oh yeah.
So maybe they'll put it side by side,
maybe, or just on top of because it's kind of thin. It's very wide, but it's thin.
Maybe sideways. Oh. Either way, that's a good point, because they're still. It seems like they're going to still be supporting 3DS until at least another year.
Yeah.
2018, I guess. So that'd be interesting if they can have an ability to make the Switch backwards compatible.
I'm still going to buy 3DS games that come out.
Yeah, I'm still Sun and Moon is my last game I'm going to buy for the year. I'm still really excited for it.
And there's about 5 more games on my list for next year. So
yeah. Well, more games that were shown. Skyrim. This was a huge surprise.
Yeah. When it first got shown, I'm like, what is that? Is that Skyrim?
Yeah.
And it was shown just in time as well, because Skyrim comes out next weekend. So just in time before people actually make the choice of buying it on PS4 or Xbox One. People were making the argument to, why would they buy it again on Xbox? I was fully convinced, I'm definitely going to get this again. I want to play this. But why would I, now that I can play it on the go?
Are you?
Yeah, I'm probably going to save from getting it so I can get it on the Switch now, so I can play it on the go. As in, not that I'm going to take it outside again. It's just that I can play it wherever I want. I don't have to rely on having a TV.
Yep.
I can play it anywhere in my house. So,
Yep.
Depending on, I really want to know though, because one of the main reasons I am getting this game is graphics. because I have played this game fully, 100 hours into it, and I want to see what it looks like fully remastered. So if the Switch can sort of match that, then yeah, there's no reason why I'm not going to get it on the Switch.
A lot of people have compared the Switch's graphics to Xbox One. Now, think when the Switch comes out, the Xbox One will be 4 years old.
And we'll have probably Scorpio was just be on its way.
Yep. Remember, Nintendo has never been graphics.
Yeah.
Who cares about graphics?
Yeah.
Graphics aren't a biggest thing for me, but when it comes to games like Breath of the Wild, like this new Super Mario they're showing off, heavily stylized, less realistic like Skyrim, more cartoony, more colorful, more Paper Mario kind of thing. Those graphics, Nintendo shine in those graphics. I still say 3D World is one of the best looking games ever.
And then we saw images of that new Super Mario. My God.
It's just because it looks, I don't know, the less realistic they have to make it, the better they can perform in the
more
graphics.
sort of cartoony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Breath of the Wild right now, so good.
Yeah.
So good. One thing that a lot of people have mentioned was when, I guess it's about to come up right now in the trailer, when he takes Breath of the Wild away from the TV and then portable, you'll see it right now, that the frame rate drops considerably. Now,
before we move on to the frame rate, I just noticed then that if you're in the middle of the game on your TV, that you don't even have to like sort of go back to home, turn it off, then go to your Switch. You just have to put the controller things in your Switch, pull it out, and the game goes straight in there, and it's so easy.
Yeah. Again, we don't know how the UI works, so there'll probably be a message pop up on the screen when you take the pad out of the dock.
Yeah.
There'll probably be a message that will pop up on the TV saying something.
I mean, we just saw images of Skyrim on the handheld then. I mean, it didn't look bad. I mean, it probably looks like PS3 graphics, to be honest.
And I'm okay with that.
On the handheld.
I'm okay with that.
People are, yeah, I guess I'm okay with it just because it's Skyrim on the go. And then, now we've just seen an image of him playing on the TV. It does look better.
Yep.
So
that's just an obvious thing. You're not going to have, you're playing a massive game on the go. Of course there's going to be the graphical comparisons, Of course it's going to lack in graphics.
It's just going to be so cool. Like, imagine playing Skyrim, like, just with some headphones on, like in a dark corner or something, just like with a little screen in your face. Like,
I was not interested in having got Skyrim again next week. I'll get it on the Switch.
Yeah, I think I'm going to wait now.
Yeah. Again,
it came out perfect timing, that trailer.
It has Bethesda has said that Skyrim has not been officially confirmed for it, but it's been shown off in the trailer.
Yeah,
they can't not put it out now.
Well, I mean, remember the Wii U trailer? They showed all that Zelda gameplay. That was just sort of a fake game.
That was more of a tech demo, I suppose. Yeah. Either way,
don't do this to us, Nintendo. Keep your promises. Is there anything else you want to say about games?
They have put out a list of all the sampling of the third parties that they're supporting, and someone did a really cool on Twitter. I think
I saw this one.
Someone put what the third parties they had for Wii U next to
no.
Third parties that had for support for the Wii U and third parties that had for NX. The list was double, maybe even triple. Yeah, it was so funny because here was Iwata sitting there at E3 or something, and he put it on the projection behind him, the third parties, and it was like it looked okay at the time. Yeah. But then they put the screen next to it of all the third parties and their logos. It looks hilarious.
People are going crazy about From Software. Now, From Software is the company who make Dark Souls. So, I mean, Dark Souls coming to Switch.
Man. I actually saw Atlas on there. Atlas make Persona.
Oh.
Persona 5.
Yeah.
As looking like one of the best games ever, and that's a PS3 exclusive.
Yeah, yeah.
Bring it to the Switch.
Yeah.
I want to play that game
That's
so
awesome.
bad because I'm so tempted to buy a PS4 because of it.
Yeah, because I've got a PS3 and I'm hoping it comes out, and like I know it is coming out on the PS3, but people are saying they're not going to bring it out in PS3 in the West, just in Japan.
because there's no market for it
Yeah.
over here. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, bring it to the Switch.
Oh man, yeah, and then all the usuals like EA, Bethesda we saw on there. You know, things I can't name off the top of my head, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's just a lot of them.
I think, look,
Ubisoft as well.
Ubisoft. Saying about games, you know how everyone's been waiting. Bring back F-Zero. Bring back Metroid Prime. Bring back.
Well,
X. Yeah. I don't know.
You know, Metroid Prime, F-Zero X, and Super Mario were the big things missing from Wii U. You start off with those in the first year of Switch, you've got your audience back.
Exactly. This is their time. I think they've been waiting to. I think they've been holding these things off, these franchises off, and bringing them back for this because I think they knew early Wii U days that it wasn't looking good. So why bring back big franchises for a failing console? If they get this right, and it looks to be they have got it right so far, a big mass critical appeal so far. I think that, I think all these things are going to come back.
So what are you thinking? Like, you know how we've got Xbox sequels, PlayStation sequels. Could Switch be the thing that Nintendo sticks to? If this becomes massive, could we see a Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch 3?
Oh,
Or do you think Nintendo's just going to stick to what they keep doing, just changing it all the time? Like, the next thing will just be completely different.
look at us thinking about the future already.
That's what you got to do.
It's really hard to say.
Nobody, like, I mean, if this is around for the next 6 years, nobody knows what people are going to be after then. No, this is what people want now. It's what I want now.
I'm so excited just for the fact that handheld gaming isn't dead.
Yeah.
That, and again, another video I watched was saying that he's going to buy the Switch for sure, but he doesn't play games on the go. The games on the go he plays is on his phone.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking why you're going to buy a handheld console and you're still not going to take it with you. I don't know. I think that pretty much wraps up. That just caps over an hour. Anything else that you wanted to say?
Just one last thing, like
We haven't talked about Super Mario. We'll talk about Super Mario.
Yeah. Well, yeah, before we get onto Super Mario, it's just so versatile, as in it's so easy to do it. As in, like, you can put it in your dock, it's on, just put your controllers in, take it off the dock, you're still playing it. You know, if they made it more sort of harder to do, then it wouldn't be, I think, popular. So it's so easy for anyone to do.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. One game we didn't talk about was the 6 to 7 seconds of a new Super Mario game that was shown.
Yes.
Interesting thing. It looks amazing for sure. But the thing that everyone keeps talking about is the return of a triple jump.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
people have compared this to a triple jump was absent from Super Mario 3D Land and 3D World, and something that was shown.
People are calling it Super Mario 128.
128.
Yeah, it's double 64.
Stupid. That's dumb.
It's awesome.
Sorry, but anyway, so this seems like it from very, very early. It kind of seems like a return to more open world, more exploratory Super Mario, rather than having lands and worlds.
I'm scared though. Like,
Why?
it looks a bit Western. I don't like that theme.
Oh, who knows? You know, that just could be a little section of it.
I hope that's just a world and that's not like the real hub world kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the first screenshot that we saw was this big sort of open area. I mean, there's lots of buildings with flowers on it, lots of cactus. I think I saw this cactus sort of jumping around. And then the sky is sort of like a space thing. You could see a planet up there and kind of thing.
One thing. Yeah, it kind of did make me think about Galaxy, but then once someone said Galaxy, in all the worlds in Galaxy, obviously you're on planets, so they're all spherical. And these things are all flat, so that can't be it. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
But someone was saying the thing in the sky was a moon, and then did you see all the ice things that were around that someone was saying that the moon has to do something with these ice things, that the moon is kind of freezing the planet below it or something, and that rather than getting stars, typical stars, there'll be these like moon shard crystal things that you'll gather, that you'll collect, to save the planet from freezing or something like that. I don't know, but it just seemed weird. In both screenshots that we saw, there was ice in this kind of desert looking Mexican place. So it's interesting. I don't know.
I just want to go back to sunshine. So
Sunshine is the worst.
tropical islands.
Yeah.
In HD.
Either way, it looks amazing.
Yeah. I mean, because, we saw a clip of Mario running and that big dust cloud running behind him. Like, sort of this cartoon big dust cloud. It looks so cool.
That's kind of, that kind of happens in 3D World.
Yeah.
So again, it looks like it's taking elements from both. So maybe rather than being another entry into the 3D World saga and another entry into the Super Mario, the Galaxy-ish more saga, maybe it would be more of a combination of the both.
Don't do that. Just give me what I want.
Oh, Scott. Okay. Well, I can't win with you. Either way, Nintendo Switch, it looks great.
Yes.
I want it right now. So that's been 411 folks, episode 31, talking about the Switch. There'll be more episodes of this to come for sure. I don't know.
Probably not for a while, to be honest.
Not for the next year, I guess.
Next year?
Not until next year.
Yeah, until next year, probably. Yeah, because, we've talked about it to death now. Like, we did NX speculation. We've talked about all we can for Switch, so that's it. There might be some new game announcements from third parties along the way before that, but other than that, yeah, that's it.
That's it. All right. Thanks for listening in. That's been our analysis of the Nintendo Switch. We'll see you guys very soon.
Goodbye.